It's the trade market that has us excited for the start of the new league year.
If you're A.J. Brown, you want to go to a team that's good to help you win a Super Bowl at another place, I think the Bills make a ton of sense.
The 2026 NFL free agent market is loaded with difference makers on both sides of the ball. So, let us dive into the 10 blockbuster NFL trades that need to happen this offseason. Bills win the A.J. Brown sweepstakes. Well, here you are, Brandon Beane. You won your power struggle with Sean McDermott, but now it's time to make some win-now moves and waste no more of Josh Allen's prime years. Bills have not been able to replace Stephon Diggs' production at wide receiver. It's not too late for redemption. It is impossible to imagine a scenario where A.J. Brown returns to the Philadelphia Eagles after a turbulent 2025 season. If the Eagles shop their all-pro wideout, it's Beane's opportunity to make a move. An experienced big-game player like Brown could easily be the difference for Buffalo in January. A second-round pick and a conditional third-round selection that can also become a second based on Brown's performance would be a pretty fair deal for both sides here. Lions go all in for Maxx Crosby. The Raiders are entering a lengthy rebuilding period, and Crosby has had enough prime years wasted on a lousy AFC West club. His trade value isn't going to get any higher, so it is an easy call for Vegas here to trade him now. Every team would love to trade for Crosby, but Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions really stand out as the best landing spot here. The Lions are coming off a disappointing 9-8 finish and missed the postseason for the first time since 2022. Hell, the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers made blockbuster moves to improve their rosters in 2025. GM Brad Holmes was a bit too conservative. In a four-way NFC North arms race, the Lions can reclaim their stake as the kings of the division by trading for a bona fide superstar like Crosby. Aiden Hutchinson is arguably a top 5 edge rusher in the game. Crosby is definitely a top 5 edge rusher in the game. Pair the two and, well, you have the league's best defensive line by a country mile. The cost will be hefty, but it'll be worthwhile. Browns secured their QB1, land Kyler Murray. Cleveland could give Shedeur Sanders an extended look behind center in 2026, but we say this. Go get yourself a two-time Pro Bowl quarterback who is entering his age 29 season if you can get him at a discounted price, which you should be able to. The Arizona Cardinals are sure to move on from Kyler Murray after another underwhelming season that led to the dismissal of head coach Jonathan Gannon. Considering how hefty his contract is, though, the Redbirds will have to sell low on Murray and trade him for below market value. So, if you're the Browns, this seems like the perfect opportunity to strike. We know the number 1 pick of 2019 hasn't fully put it together in Arizona, but, you saw what a change of scenery did for Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Daniel Jones. Murray would take over an offense featuring 2 budding stars in running back Quinshon Judkins and tight end Harold Fannin Jr. And, of course, the Browns are loaded with draft capital and salary cap space to bolster the offense around Murray. So, maybe a conditional 4th-round pick that can become a 3rd and a 5th-round choice would be a pretty fair price for Kyler Murray. Dolphins take a chance on Anthony Richardson Sr. The Miami Dolphins wasted very little time cleaning house after a disappointing 2025 season. Mike McDaniel was dismissed as head coach and replaced by Jeff Hafley. John Eric Sullivan is the new GM calling the shots. And, he's already cutting ties with Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. Miami's sure to move on from the quarterback Tua Tagovailoa as well, even if it's going to cost $99.2 million in dead money. And, since the 2026 NFL Draft is weak on quarterbacks, Miami's best bet is to eye a reclamation project in the offseason. So, why not Miami as a potential landing spot? Richardson would join an offense led by a superstar wide receiver Jalen Waddle and Pro Bowl running back Devon Achane. Miami's offense is built around speed, and a dual-threat QB like Richardson could have his potential fulfilled in this offense. A rich for a 5th-round pick should be enough to get the job done. Chiefs ship Trent McDuffie to the Bucs. Kansas City Chiefs GM Brett Veach hasn't been afraid to move out big-name veteran players if he believes he can find a younger replacement. All-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie could eye an extension worth 9 figures, and understandably so, but that's a lot of money for the cap-strapped Chiefs. Plus, they've been a cornerback factory under Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, so why spend all that cash on just one player? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers sorely need help at cornerback. Kansas City also needs receiving help. That makes the two teams ideal trade partners. So, how about McDuffie to Tampa Bay for 2nd and 4th-round picks and 3rd-year receiver Jalen McMillan? The latter caught 8 touchdowns as a rookie in 2024, but saw his playing time decrease thanks to the emergence of Emeka Egbuka. Tampa shores up at secondary. Kansas City gets cap relief. 2 extra picks, and a young receiver on a rookie deal. Seriously, who says no? Steelers get more help for Aaron Rodgers. You know, it's rather impressive that a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers led the Pittsburgh Steelers through the AFC North with such a lackluster set of receivers. K. Metcalf was supposed to be a superstar, but he only had 850 yards. Oh yeah, help is definitely needed if Pittsburgh is to end its 10-year playoff win drought next season. And something tells us that Mike McCarthy wouldn't have taken this head coaching vacancy if the front office hadn't promised to bolster the offense. The Chicago Bears might be willing to aid Rodgers, their old buddy, and the Steelers here. DJ Moore is a prime offseason trade candidate after a down year in Chicago. So the Steelers can offer up a conditional 3rd-round pick plus a 4th-rounder to the Bears for DJ Moore. Now, Aaron Rodgers has Moore and Metcalf as his top 2 pass catchers. Bears add some Payne to the defensive line. The Washington Commanders would save a whopping $16.75 million against the cap if they were to cut or trade defensive tackle Daron Payne in the offseason. But Washington shouldn't have an issue finding a taker for one of the league's better defensive tackles who's only 29. Look, as fun as Ben Johnson's Bears were in 2025, they sorely lacked difference makers on the defensive side of the ball. They had the 6th worst rush defense, and Montez Sweat was the only Bear to exceed 6 sacks. Chicago hit the jackpot by trading for Sweat at the 2023 trade deadline. So how about reuniting him with Payne and allowing the 2 studs to wreak havoc together once again? Washington would probably release Payne if it didn't get any trade offers, so Chicago should be able to get him for 2 late-round picks. Let's call it 5th and 6th rounders for the veteran defensive tackle. Vikings bring in TT to challenge JJ. So the Vikings are sure to bring in QB competition for JJ McCarthy after a tough 2024 season. And since the Dolphins are moving on from Tua Tagovailoa, well, bringing in a decent veteran to challenge a frustrating youngster has worked before. Look, Tagovailoa got Miami to the postseason twice. Sam Darnold was a mega bust before turning in a career year for Kevin O'Connell in 2024. So, I mean, yeah, don't mind us for thinking that KOC could unlock Tua's potential as well. Now, Tagovailoa would have to restructure his deal to facilitate a trade, but I mean, at this point, why wouldn't he? We're thinking a trade offer of a 4th-round pick for Tagovailoa should be enough to close the deal. Broncos make a splash for Brandon Aiyuk. The San Francisco 49ers had hoped that their all-pro receiver would return in the second half of the 2025 season, but Aiyuk, who suffered season-ending ACL and MCL tears during the 2024 season, never hit the field in 2025. Reports indicate that the relationship between Aiyuk and the 49ers has completely deteriorated. Apparently a reason why he didn't suit up for 2025. Not exactly ideal, considering that he signed a 4-year deal worth $120 million before the 2024 season. So yeah, Aiyuk's time is up in San Francisco. The only question here is whether he'll play in 2026 at all. Now, if he does, I think the Denver Broncos are maybe a perfect landing spot for Aiyuk. Courtland Sutton is their only consistent playmaking target, and he's better suited as a number 2 receiver at this phase of his career. Aiyuk put up excellent numbers on a star-studded 49ers offense featuring Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Jawan Jennings. Just imagine what he could do as the number 1 target in a Sean Payton-coached and Bo Nix-led offense. A fair offer would be a 3rd-round pick and wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. for Aiyuk. Mims could be a solid number 2 receiver in Kyle Shanahan's offense, but main thing here is cap relief and a day 2 pick. Aiyuk can hopefully revive his career on a Denver team that is already an established Super Bowl contender. Patriots win the Brian Thomas Jr. sweepstakes. Expectations were sky high for a player who earned Pro Bowl honors as a rookie, but Thomas Jr. struggled with drops and consistency as a sophomore. He caught 48 passes for 707 yards and 2 touchdowns, basically falling to number 3 receiver duties behind Parker Washington and trade deadline acquisition Jacoby Myers. Jim Cohen's offense functioned just fine without a productive Thomas, and remember, two-way phenom Travis Hunter is going to get more snaps as a receiver next season. So I mean, Thomas's role is likely to shrink further if he stays in Duval County. Thomas would really benefit from a fresh start too, and the defending AFC champion New England Patriots should be ultra motivated to get their superstar receiver. I mean, pretty impressive how far they got with 32-year-old Stephon Diggs as their top wideout. Since Thomas is only 2 years into his career, he'll cost a premium. But with the Pats championship window just opening, they can offer 2026 first, third, and fourth round picks for Thomas. Jaguars can use those picks to possibly fill some other needs. But hey, Which other blockbuster NFL trades do you want to see this offseason? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.